You're watching the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14.
Right now it's 7. It's Work Zone Safety Week. We'll tell you how you can participate in it.
Also, it's feral cat season. We'll have how you can help control the population of feral cats.
And we've got ourselves a cold but sunny start for the area, and we're going to warm up eventually. We'll talk about that warm up coming up.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Thanks for joining us for the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. I'm Carrie Worthen. Missouri Attorney General announced the new restrictions on general affirming care for adults in addition to minors. It's a move believed to be the first nationally and has advocacy groups threatened to sue. Attorney General Andrew Bailey announced plans to restrict health care for transgender people weeks ago. The rule, which includes a required 18-month of therapy before receiving gender-affirming health care, is set to take effect April 27th and expire next February. Authorities charge a convicted felon with possession of firearms following a road rage incident. According to the report, the victim says they were followed by Jesse Butasta through the city. The victim also indicates Butasta brandished a handgun at them. Authorities searched the residence of Butasta and discovered 2 pistols, 2 shotguns, 4 rifles, and various rounds of ammunition. This following a family member's attempts to hide the firearms. Butasta was arrested and charged with being a prohibited person in possession of firearms/ammunition, brandishing a firearm, and reckless driving. Shortly after 10 Saturday morning, authorities responded to reports of smoke in a wooded area south of Royal Heights in Joplin. About 8 to 10 acres of ground covered were on fire. No live trees caught fire. Authorities say it most likely began as a campfire in the woods, but it's not confirmed. The fire was under control in about 45 minutes. No structures were damaged and nobody was injured. National Work Zone Awareness Week is this week. It's a yearly annual event to raise awareness about the dangers in road work zones. The event takes place during the 3rd week of April every year. This year, the theme is Drive Safe, Work Safe, Save Lives. The goal of the event is to remind drivers to be extra cautious when driving through the work zone and to remind workers to follow safety procedures to prevent accidents.
This gives us the opportunity to bring attention to provide additional safety and awareness to our work zone crews. By bringing this attention, our hopes are to provide a safer working environment for our crews on the road.
Federal Highway Administration and the American Traffic Safety Services Administration are also late organizers of National Work Zone Awareness Week. Springtime is here, and that can mean a surge in feral cat population. If you have feral cats in your neighborhood, try to catch them and get them spayed or neutered. You can contact the local Humane Society or other rescues or shelters to get a cat trap. Spaying or neutering prevents feral cats from having more kittens, and then those kittens later having kittens. It also cuts down on health issues and cat fights.
And well, I mean, feral cats deserve love and everything too. They don't ask for that life, they don't pick it. So if you've got feral cats in your area, your neighborhood, your community, behind a business that you work at, provide them shelter and food and just sort of watch over them, be good stewards, be kind, as we say.
To learn more about spaying and neutering, head over to the Joplin Humane Society's website.
We've got ourselves a cold start across the area. Live look at the MoDOT camera, 20th and Range Line, looking to the south. We are looking good so far, and same. More daylight from the KDOT camera at 69 and 400 just south of Pittsburgh. Here comes the sun, and here come warmer temperatures eventually. We're not there yet. 36 in Joplin, south breeze at 3 miles an hour, and it is still cold across the area. 33 Pittsburgh, 28 Parsons, 36 Miami, and 37 Neosho and Carthage. We get our morning started. We'll have sunny skies near 60 by late morning, so we do start to warm up quickly, but we could have some gusty winds, so fire danger is still elevated today. Sunny skies this afternoon, temperatures pushing lower to mid 70s, and as we head into this evening, more clear skies and a much better evening for us as we drop back down to the mid 50s for overnight lows. Now, as we head into tomorrow, we are looking at the possibility of some showers, maybe a rumble of thunder or two in the morning, but those should be out of here by before noon, and no severe weather is expected out of that. Outside of that, we'll make it up near 80. A little cooler, a little breezier Wednesday, 74 Thursday, 64 Friday. Watching thunderstorm chances both days. A couple of those could be strong, possibly severe, so we're going to keep an eye on that for you. Regardless, it's going to get cold after this. We're talking frost temperatures Friday night and Saturday night, so if you've got outdoor vegetation, be prepared. And then a much cooler weekend. We're talking upper 50s Saturday, lower 60s on Sunday. Carrie?
Thanks, Chris. A local group of community members gathered together to clean up the city of Miami. KOAM Shugu Mamadeli was there and has the details.
After a Facebook post called for people to help clean and pick up dirt in Miami, a group of church members and residents answered that call.
Got together with a Facebook page out of Miami, seeing they was cleaning up the town of Miami. So New Beginnings Life Church got together, and I got a bunch of friends from church. So after church, we came out here and gathered with some other people to clean up the community.
Louis says the community needed the cleaning.
Well, we know the community has a lot of garbage in it, and a lot of things need cleaned up. We figured we'd start with the community, and we're also wanting to help people if they got garbage in their lives.
Another member of the cleanup says they hope to engage in more community cleanups.
I feel like as the word gets out that there's a group of people that want to do it, I'm sure there are going to be different streets all over the city of Miami that people are going to say, hey, can you come to our street? Hey, can you come to our street? And hopefully what it does is it starts a fire in the people in the community to begin to do the same thing. And so therefore you can take care of your own street, you know?
Jennings hopes for a clean Miami.
Hopefully when we're done, the sides of these roads right here are going to look beautiful because it's just going to be green grass.
Reporting in Miami, Shugu Mamadeli, KOAM News.
Over 50 people showed up to help clean. Up next, Lori Horton joins us back in the studio kitchen to get started on a very delicious treat.
And later, the Terminator becomes the Tarminator as he fills a pothole, but it's more like a pothole of drama. You're watching the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. Be right back. But first, here's a live look at King Jack Park in Webb City. Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. Now, in our 6 o'clock hour, we talked with Lori about who she is, what you do, and everything. And now we also discussed these, and we're going to find out exactly how to make this kid-friendly PB&J cookie. So welcome back.
Absolutely.
Thanks for hanging out with us.
Absolutely.
So let's get started. How do we do this?
Okay, so it's pretty simple, and I love you say kid-friendly because it's kid-friendly, family-friendly, makes us all feel like a kid again, because who doesn't love a good PB&J, right?
Oh, absolutely.
And this is one that's going to be really inexpensive for you to make as well as simple. So literally 4 ingredients total. And all we're going to start with is a cup of plain old white granulated sugar. Maybe everybody doesn't have this in the house, but probably. And we're adding a cup of regular peanut butter. And this is smooth peanut butter. You can use crunchy, but I'd recommend sticking with the smooth.
Smooth probably works better.
It works better, and your crunchy, sometimes the peanuts get a little bit stale when you bake them in a cookie. So it's usually recommended that you stick with the smooth.
Okay.
Get a good one, it doesn't have to be the best. It can be a store brand. We've got the good old classic Jif there. And then we're gonna add to that 1 egg.
Okay.
And it is the magic of television, but I brought a spare just in case.
You never know what's going to happen.
Be prepared. Good, fresh, and just a large egg. When it comes to baking, anytime you have a recipe that calls for an egg, if it doesn't specify, it means large. So we're just going to take that and we're going to mix all of that together. I'm going to let Muscles over here work on that for a little bit.
Okay.
You just want to get it really nice and smooth. So a peanut butter cookie recipe is always very simple. There's not a lot of ingredients necessary. It's one of your few cookies that, if you'll notice, there's no flour, there's no leavener, there's no baking soda, baking powder, anything complicated in this recipe.
Yeah.
So we're literally going to take those 3 ingredients to start with and we're just going to mix them until they come together in a nice, simple dough. And then when it comes to that, we're going to take a cookie scoop, which this is probably the most complicated piece of equipment that we're going to use today. And you don't even have to use this. You can use a teaspoon or a tablespoon. You don't have to have anything out of the ordinary to really make these work for you. But I like to use a cookie scoop because it just makes them nice and even. And this is a smaller one than we use a lot of times because, again, these are pretty rich. These are pretty sweet. So when you come home from school and you want a little simple treat for the kids, we don't want it to be something enormous. We just want a little bite. So it's perfect.
Okay.
Working on that. I don't know, guys.
This is.
We're testing his skills here.
We've talked about this before. There's reasons I'm not allowed to cook.
Let's see how they look, Chris.
All right, this is what we've got so far.
That's perfect. So we're going to give, where are we at? We're going to give a little mix of that. It just is going to look like a peanut butter dough, okay?
Okay.
So good job, actually.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you. I'm learning I apparently have a few handy skills.
You do.
I can help. Maybe not make the whole thing, but I can help.
Can you make it warmer this afternoon?
We're going to work on it because
that would be
pretty
great.
cold.
That would be great. So we're going to take that scoop, we're going to pull that up the side, and then just right over here on our cookie sheet, which has some parchment paper on there. Always a good idea when you have a sticky cookie. And we're just going to pop him right out on top.
Okay.
So we're going to go through these. This is going to make about 20 to 24 of these little droplets.
Okay.
And then when we come back, we're going to get the tops all ready and have them ready to pop in the oven, make them look pretty.
Sounds good. I'm looking forward to it. When, as she mentioned, we'll be back with more of this and more of the KOAM Morning News right after this. Well, former California Governor Arnold Schwarzenegger says he filled in a pothole to help his Los Angeles neighborhood.
But the city says terminated a service trench at the gas company was using. Jeannie Moose reports.
Check out what Arnold Schwarzenegger is terminating these days, a pothole. Or is it? There he is filling what he describes as a giant pothole that's been screwing up cars and bicycles in his Los Angeles neighborhood. One driver stopped to say thanks.
This is crazy. For 3 weeks I've been waiting for this hole to be closed.
Thank you. Bye.
Movie Arnold is the one always causing the damage to roadways, but faced with this hole, Arnold tweeted, "I always say, let's not complain, let's do something about it." Many cheered him on with his own one-liners.
Hasta la vista, baby.
Hasta la vista, pothole. Others took pot shots at his technique, saying in a week or two the asphalt will sink and need a top-up, in which case...
I'll be back.
Maybe don't come back. LA's Department of Public Works tells CNN it's not a pothole. It was a service trench permitted for a project by SoCal Gas a little over a year ago. It was Rod Stewart who was filling potholes near his mansion in England. Rod cited his Ferrari.
My Ferrari can't go through here at all.
As for the Terminator, one post renamed him the Tarminator. Sort of makes sense when you recall that he once made a dramatic entrance naked in a pothole of his own creation. Jeannie Moose, CNN, New York.
Yeah, I remember watching the Terminator movies for the first time and was surprised that Arnold Schwarzenegger was not clothed in the beginning.
Yeah, but you couldn't see nothing, so it's fine.
Yeah,
I was shocked too.
But that's a thing though. You got to fill those potholes, and after the wintertime, boy, roads anywhere are in rough shape because of all the salt and the plowing and the cold and everything. So, thankfully, not quite that cold. It's cold.
Yes.
Don't get me wrong, and it's going to get chilly toward the end of the week, but not quite wintertime cold. Let's take a look at the MoDOT camera, 20th and Range line, looking back to the south. Sunshine out there, same from the KDOT camera at 69 and 400, just south of Pittsburgh. And here comes the sun, and here comes some warmer weather for us as well, but not quite yet. We need that sun to get a little bit higher, and we need a little more of that south breeze. We're at 36 in Joplin right now, south breeze at 3, but we could see some occasional gusts today, and so that's why there's still an elevated fire danger. They don't want you doing outdoor burning yet, so don't do that because we don't need fires. We've got 32 in Iola, 28 Parsons, 35 Chautauqua, 36 Miami, 37's in Neosho and Carthage, and 34s in Lamar and Nevada. As we get our day started, we've got sunny skies, near 60 by late morning, so we will warm up quite quickly. I mean, look at how fast these temperatures jump hour by hour. We head into the afternoon, they're going to jump even more as we go into the low to mid 70s. Still sunny skies, so another beautiful day out there, much warmer than what we saw this weekend. And as we head into tonight, that's more clear skies and not as significant as a cool down, which will be nice as we get back into the mid 50s, which means our Tuesday morning it's going to be a little bit warmer. Unfortunately, our Tuesday morning may also be a little bit wetter for some of us. So we could see some scattered showers, maybe a rumble of thunder. Should be out of here by noon. Then we'll make it near 80 degrees. It will cool down Wednesday, be a little windier. We're talking lower 70s. Mid 70s Thursday, mid 60s on Friday. Thunderstorm chances. A couple of these could be strong, possibly severe. So again, something we're keeping an eye on. However, regardless of whether or not these storms get strong or not, this system is strong enough to kick our temperatures pretty far down heading into the weekend. We're talking frost levels Friday and Saturday night. So if you've done any outdoor planting, you've got any outdoor vegetation, you got a few days to make your plans before it starts to get pretty chilly. And a cool weekend, upper 50s, lower 60s, and we're a little slower to warm back up, but we will eventually make it to the lower 70s by the middle of next week, just in time for some additional thunderstorm chances. We'll have more of the KOAM morning news, including those delicious peanut butter and jelly cookies right after this. Welcome back to the KOAM morning news on Fox 14. Got Lori back with us, and we started these cookies here just a moment ago. Now it is time to finish them. So what do we need to do next?
Okay, so now we're going to go on to our next really complicated piece of equipment, and that is a fork.
That's a pretty tough thing to use.
You can't do a peanut butter cookie without that crisscross on the top. Now, you're not going to see a lot of it when we get done, but we're going to dip it in a little bit more of that white granulated sugar and just make that classic little crisscross pattern on the top. And part of the reason why we still do this, even though you're not really going to see it, is it's going to help keep our jelly in place while they bake.
Okay.
So if the kiddos are not big fans of the jelly, or you want to keep these maybe a little bit less sweet, you can stop right here and bake these just as they are in that 350-degree oven for about 8 minutes. They do not require anything else past this point. But
boy, in 8 minutes, it's pretty quick too.
It's pretty quick. That's not what we came to do today. So we're going to dress these on up. And as far as your jelly flavors go, they are great with any kind, just like that sandwich.
Oh, yeah.
I've got strawberry today. It can be raspberry, it can be grape, it can be peach, whatever is going to work for you. Just don't overdo it. I just put this in a Ziploc bag and cut the corner off to make it a little bit easier to contain.
Okay.
You can, again, just use a spoon, something simple, but we're just going to put that little layer right on top, just like that on every single one. Don't go all the way to the edge unless you want to have it all over your cookie sheet. But we're going to dress every single one of those. We're going to pop those in that oven, same thing, the 350 for 8 minutes. And when they come out, you'll notice that they'll have a little bit of a darker gold starting to form on that bottom.
Okay.
Very easy. They're not going to spread a whole lot. They're not going to get a ton bigger. So they're just going to be those perfect little bite-sized, pop-in-your-mouth treats. And what I even did on some of mine up here is I took those and I heated up just a little bit more of that peanut butter and I drizzled the tops with that.
Yeah, and
so
that looks
just
incredible
one more
too.
thing.
So if you want to spruce it up a bit, you can do that. If you're like me and you barely made it to this point, you probably don't want to try and spruce it up and ruin the cookies. So, and what I find interesting is you actually bake it with the jelly on there.
Yes, that's surprising for a lot of people. They think you pop that on after the fact, but it bakes best when it's on there. It's going to stay in place. As you'll see, there's nothing super messy on these as they bake, and they're ready to go. So
yeah, but a very simple recipe in like 8 minutes. So right before the kids come home, if you want to surprise them with a little snack, easy to do. So
15, 20 minutes tops. If you need to mix up your dough and throw it in the fridge and come back, you can do that. You can really bake it right out of the bowl. It's very, very easy.
All right, Lori, thank you so much. And of course, we'll have the recipe for these delicious cookies on our website at KOAMnewsnow.com. We will be back with more of the KOAM Morning News right after this.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. It's currently 7:28. The Neosho National Fish Hatchery hosted their annual open house event. This open house was a bit more special though, as this year marks the hatchery's 135th year of operation. The event celebrated the hatchery's history with live music, hot dogs, chalk art, free tree seedlings, and a special fire truck appearance.
Today is our open house. We have this every year, and this event basically kicks off our event for the year. We have several events here at the hatchery during the year, and our open house is just a way to open the door. It says, here we go again. It's a new season, and just a fun way to kick off our year.
The hatchery was joined by several organizations from around the 4 states. Joplin celebrates 150 years by playing baseball. Varsity baseball teams from Galena, Columbus, Joplin, and Pittsburgh played against each other on the historic Joe Becker Field in Joplin, Missouri. Between games, vintage baseball teams dressed in uniforms from the 1860s and followed the rules that were set from back then.
First thing you might notice is we do not use any gloves. How about that? All right. Good job, guys.
Ragtime composer Percy Wrench performed in Taylor Performing Arts Center at the MSSU campus, also as a part of Joplin's 150th birthday celebration. Joplin residents gathered on Saturday morning for some family fun to raise money for Hope Park. Once built, the park will be just 2 blocks north of Joe Becker Stadium off historic Route 66. The park will feature an inactive Wall of Dreams to showcase the kids' goals and aspirations, while also recognizing the generosity of others.
We just want to bring community awareness and to get the community to help support us, because this is for the whole city. Once you get one area thriving, it brings your whole city together, and that's all we're looking to do, is bring all of the Joplin together.
Yeah, of course we are.
Yeah, we love parks. We're children.
Kids.
Saturday's festival featured fun for the family, including games, blow-ups, food trucks, and more. Alberta County Family Connection hosted its Route 66 5K run and family fun walk. Races begin at 8 a.m. Saturday morning, and registration costs $30 per participant. Officials with the OCFC says funds raised through the event benefits local kids, teens, and adults with their special needs and their families. Other funds for the kids included a petting zoo, outdoor games, a story walk, and a lot more.
And then we have craft vendors, we have resource vendors for families to come and see what resources we do have here. We have food trucks available, we have games and tons of activities for the kids. We have a petting zoo.
Live music was also at the event.
We've got ourselves a cold start to our Monday morning, but warmer weather on the way rapidly today. Sunny skies to start, near 60 by late morning, but we could have a strong southerly breeze at times, and so fire danger still elevated, so no outdoor burning. Sunny into the afternoon, temperatures pushing mid to upper 70s across the area, and clear skies as we head through the evening and overnight hours, dropping back eventually to a low right around 56. That means our Tuesday morning will be much warmer, but we could see some showers, maybe a rumble of thunder Tuesday morning. We'll talk more about that full forecast here in a few more minutes. Carrie?
This week is National Work Zone Safety Awareness Week. The goal is to bring focus on the safety of workers and drivers through those areas. KOAM Shigun Bamadeli has more.
National Work Zone Awareness Week is a reminder to drivers to be extra cautious through work zones and for workers to follow safety procedures to prevent accidents.
This gives us the opportunity to bring attention to provide additional safety and awareness to our work zone crews. By bringing this attention, our hopes are to provide a safer working environment for our crews on the road.
One construction worker tells me that the most common type of distraction he sees is cell phone use. He urges people to drop their phone and concentrate on the road.
We're away from our homes and our families, so getting everyone home safe is a big thing. We all have families, so safety is a forefront of everything.
Young says people should look out for signs when driving.
As you get closer to the work zone, we're going to have either cones, a flagger, or some sort of vehicle to present to say, hey, you do need to slow down. Please be cautious with this area.
Even for the workers who have never experienced a work zone accident, the danger is always there.
I've never been involved on a project where a vehicle has struck a piece of equipment or an individual, but it certainly happens, and that's unfortunate. It really does, and it's usually caused by a distraction or maybe improper signage, or someone's out in the way just not paying attention.
Reporting in Pittsburgh, Shagmamdele, KOAM News.
The Federal Highway Administration and the American Traffic Safety Services Association are the lead organizers of the National Work Zone Awareness Week. That's a look at our top news stories coming up on this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. We got Wyatt Hensley from the Joplin FFA to help us out with our green thumb and with some new about plant sales.
And even though it's a cold start to our Monday morning, warmer temperatures are on the way. We'll have another look at that forecast in a few more minutes. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. In studio with us today, we have Wyatt Hensley, Akeisha Santini, and Kylie Gilthrith. I messed that up. I practiced before this, but I messed it up. They're from the Joplin FFA, and they're here to tell us all about the upcoming plant sale. So welcome to the show.
Thank you.
How are you guys doing this morning?
Doing well. Yourself?
Good.
Good.
So whoever wants to go, tell me a little about this plant sale.
Yeah, so our plant sale is going to be on April 29th. It's going to be from 7 a.m. to noon. It's going to be held at the Joplin Franklin Technology Center greenhouse. And then along with that too, we have the Joplin FFA Alumni and Booster Club Pancake Feed. That's going to be from 7 a.m. to 11 a.m. as well.
So they'll be at the same place?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, just in the classroom. So we have our greenhouse and it's going to be in the classroom right over.
And so the pancake feed is donation based?
Yes.
And so what's this money going towards?
So this goes to our this goes to our Joplin FFA Alumni and Booster Club, who help support us throughout the year. So they help pay our way to National Convention. This also goes to their scholarship fund as well. So it goes to really important things.
And how important is FFA to you guys? You go since
yeah.
It's actually really significant to me. I've been doing it for 4 years now. It's kind of like my main thing that I do all the time. It's definitely had a lot of impact and given me a lot of opportunities that I've taken now as a senior and going on higher up into college.
So what are some of the plants you guys know of that are going to be at this?
We have tomato, aloe vera plants. We also have just like bedding plants that you just put in regular gardens that aren't like too high maintenance, but you just water every once in a while. Like even if it rains, you'll be fine. I believe we also had ferns this year, like the hanging basket ferns.
There's flowers. I saw a lot of flowers out there.
Mm-hmm. So I want to give you a chance. What does FFA mean to you? What is this plant sale and pancake feed? What's going to do for you?
Well, these go right back to helping our community and our chapter, and it is very important to me because I like to see all people from the community come in and just support us, and it shows that people really do appreciate everything that we do for our community.
And the pancake feed, you guys are going to be making the pancakes yourselves?
We usually have some of our alumni. Mr. Marshall, he comes in, he usually brings his big grill and he makes all the pancakes. And then we also do like our sausage. We have a fundraiser called Blue and Gold that we do. And we usually buy extra and we do really, really good sausage that we have there too as well.
Okay, so tell us again when and where it's going to be held up.
It is April 29th from 7 a.m. to 12 a.m. and it's going to be down in the Joplin Technology Center by the greenhouse inside the classroom.
Okay, so you heard that. They're having this to raise money. It's going to go in for a good cause and it means a lot to these people. So come down and support it. So we'll be right back after this.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. Time for a quick tour around the area. Our MoDOT camera, or the MoDOT camera rather, 20th and Range Line, looking back to the south. Looks great so far. Plenty of sunshine out there, so grab those sunglasses and put down those sun visors. Same from the KDOT camera at 69 and 400. We look at our camera at 7th and Range Line. Clear skies out there, but still on the cold side. 36, south breeze at 3 miles an hour. And across the region, temperatures again Cold, 28 Parsons, 34 Chanute, Iola, 37 Fort Scott, Nevada, Miami, 35 Neosho, and 36 in Carthage. We get our day started. Sunny skies, southerly breeze. Because of all of this, we will warm up quickly this morning, near 60 by late morning. However, that southerly breeze could gust at times, and therefore there is an elevated fire danger, so no outdoor burning today. Mostly sunny as we head into the afternoon. Temperatures pushing the mid to upper 70s. And as we head into this evening, clear skies and a beautiful night, much warmer as well, dropping back down to the mid 50s for lows. So much warmer start to our Tuesday, but could see some morning showers, possibly a thunderstorm or two. Should be gone by noon, near 80. A little cooler, a little windier on Wednesday. Thursday, Friday, mid-70s, mid-60s, watching thunderstorm chances. A couple of those could be strong. We're keeping an eye on that. And then that system's enough to kick us to frost levels Friday and Saturday night. And that does lead us with a much cooler weekend. Upper 50s Saturday, lower 60s on Sunday. That is a check of your forecast. Now, here's Carrie with a check of Consumer Watch.
In Consumer Watch this morning, the Japan-based entertainment company Sega is closing on a deal to buy the company who made the popular Angry Birds mobile game. Rivio Entertainment is the company behind the well-known app. The deal is reported to be at the $1 billion range. The Wall Street Journal was the first to report. Angry Birds became popular after its release in 2009. Rivio is based in Finland and has branched out to other projects relating to the Angry Birds world. The buyer, Sega, is an entertainment company that makes products ranging in games, toys, and video content. The deal is expected to close by next week. One of the largest sellers of wedding gowns in the country is laying off thousands of workers nationwide. David's Bridal is eliminating over 9,200 positions. According to the notice filed to the Pennsylvania Department of Labor, layoffs at the Conshohocken, Pennsylvania-based retailer started on April 14th and are expected to continue through August 11th. Right now, the layoffs are affecting 15 stores in 9 countries in the state. But it's unclear how many stores could be affected in other states. The layoffs come as a problem grow for David's Bridal, which is reportedly filing for bankruptcy for the second time in 5 years. The pandemic also badly walloped weddings in 2020, and social gatherings came to an abrupt standstill. California ranks #1 for Cadillac converter thefts, and the vehicle most targeted is a Toyota Prius. Christine Lazar reports.
Rodrigo Fortes has had the catalytic converter in his Toyota Prius stolen not just once, but twice.
Honestly, it was quite upsetting.
The second theft happened even after Fortes had his mechanic put a metal plate underneath his car to keep thieves from accessing the converter. Thieves just cut around it.
I feel like at this point, I'm just waiting for the next time it will happen again.
This is video of a catalytic converter being stolen from a Prius in the West Valley last month. 2 cars pull up, and the thieves remove the converter in less than 2.5 minutes. Sako Arpesian with Reseda Mufflers is struggling to keep up with the demand for replacement parts.
The dealer will say 6 months. I've ordered catalytic converters. It's been more than 6 months.
The Prius is the most popular car with thieves because their catalytic converters contain more unused precious metals than standard gas vehicles.
The guy comes in from Toyota all the time to drop off parts, and he tells me, he's like, it's a zoo. You know, he's like, we have over 50 Priuses just sitting in the lot. They've been sitting for a very long time.
Reseda Mufflers is seeing more cars with stolen converters right now than ever before.
So I get at least 1 call a day. I mean, at least, you know, and that's just us. We're a small shop.
We'll be right back with more after this, but first let's take a look at the market prices before the opening bell. We're taking a look at how AI is helping people cope with the death of their loved ones.
The solution, however, is raising some serious ethical questions.
Mark Meredith has a story.
Instead of saying goodbye forever, artificial intelligence lets people live on virtually.
To create the digital twin of real person to AI avatar, we usually shoot 3 hours.
Michael Jung is CFO of California-based Deep Brain AI. For roughly $10,000, the company records a person's voice, face, mannerisms, and asks them questions to help a computer later generate personal responses even after they're deceased. The technology can provoke strong emotional reactions, but creators say that's the point. In 2020, a South Korean documentary crew captured the heartbreaking moment when a mother reunited with her deceased 7-year-old daughter through AI. While she couldn't physically touch her daughter, the moment is chilling. Psychiatrists telling Fox technology like this can also create problems.
The potential for it to come up with sort of wildly inappropriate or wildly inaccurate behaviors, comments, images even, is right now, I think, quite high. And that could be extremely disturbing.
Experts believe while the tech is improving rapidly, it could also backfire. One philosophy professor writing in 2021 that AI grief means it will be more difficult for people to arrive at some form of closure.
Certainly interesting.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that. The Portland Institute for Loss and Transition recently did a study on how people mourn with chatbots and found people who used AI reported a boost in self-confidence after using the tech in the grieving process. But researchers admit this is a complex issue that truly deserves further study.
And I absolutely agree with that. I mean,
Yeah.
It's interesting, but at the same time, there's that flip side where it could be more harm than good.
Yeah, that's why I'm thinking that too. I don't know how I have felt about this. I don't know how I feel.
that would certainly be tough. Well, something that's not too tough is the fact that we are going to warm up, but it is a very cold start for us across the 4 states. MoDOT camera, 20th and range line, looking back to the south, looks pretty good so far. Plentiful sunshine out there. Same from the KDOT camera at 69 and 400, just south of Pittsburgh. Check out those really long shadows. We've got beautiful skies out there, albeit on the cold side. 36 in Joplin. We've got a south breeze at about 3 miles an hour, and it is still cold across the area. 28 in Parsons, 37 Miami, Fort Scott, Nevada, 36 Lamar and Carthage, and 35 Neosho and Anderson. As we go through our morning, sunny skies near 60 by late morning. Still an elevated fire risk, so no outdoor burning, but otherwise we will warm up quite quickly. Heading into the afternoon, we remain sunny. Temperatures pushing lower to mid-70s across the area, so a gorgeous day and a gorgeous night as well. Through the evening hours, clear skies, mild, only back to the mid-50s for overnight lows, so much better than where we are right now. Unfortunately, even though we're going to be warmer tomorrow, could see some showers, maybe a rumble of thunder or two before noon tomorrow. Otherwise near 80. Cooler and breezier on Wednesday. 74 Thursday, 64 Friday. Thunderstorm chances Thursday into Friday. Some of these could be on the stronger side, so we're going to keep an eye on that for you. But a cold front comes through, pushes us back to frost levels Friday and Saturday night. Much cooler weekend too. We're talking upper 50s, lower 60s. We gradually warm back up to the lower 70s by the middle of next week with some additional thunderstorm chances Tuesday into Wednesday. We'll be back with more of the KOAM Morning News right after this.
Here's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door. On Saturday, authorities responded to reports of smoke in a wooded area south of Royal Heights in Joplin. About 8 to 10 acres of ground covered were on fire. No live trees were caught on fire. Authorities say it most likely began as a campfire in the woods. The fire was under control in about 45 minutes. No structures were damaged and nobody was injured. The final day of the Circuit Drag and Drive event hosted by the MoCan Dragway rolled to a stop on Sunday. The competition lasted 3 days as drivers raced across 200 miles and featured streetcars from all over the 4-state area. Competing drivers had to make the drive successfully without the help of support vehicles. Proceeds from the event stayed in the area and went to Northwest Arkansas Children's Shelter. Joplin celebrates 150 years by playing baseball. Varsity baseball teams from Galena, Columbus, Joplin, and Pittsburgh played against each other in the historic Joe Becker Field in Joplin, Missouri. Between games, vintage baseball teams dressed in uniforms from the 1860s and followed the rules that were set from back then.
We've got ourselves a pleasant day after a cold start. We're talking lower to mid 70s for highs, sunny skies. Southerly breeze could gust at times, so still an elevated fire danger. We stay clear as we head into the evening hours as well, and much warmer. I mean, it's still cool, but that's a nice mild temperature as we drop back down to an overnight low right around the mid 50s. That's going to lead to a warmer Tuesday morning. However, could see some showers, maybe a rumble of thunder or two before noon. Otherwise pushing 80. Cooler Wednesday and windier. Storm chances Thursday, Friday. A couple of strong storms possible. We'll keep an eye on that for you. Frost conditions yet again Friday night into Saturday night, and much cooler for us this weekend.
Well, if you are afraid of heights, you might want to look away.
A Hungarian circus artist crossed the River Danube on a tightrope in Budapest on Saturday. Members of the Capital Circus of Budapest have been preparing for months for this historic event. The first time a person has crossed the river using this method. Award-winning circus artist Laszlo Samet walked 918 feet at a height of 98 feet on a 22-millimeter thick tightrope with only a balance pole. The rope, stretched between cranes on both sides of the Danube, was also held by a team of 20 people on 3 barges on the river, preventing it from swaying too much. And after achieving the feat, Samet hugged his family and looked visibly relieved. And I've got to say, I would have been just as relieved. I do not like heights whatsoever.
Me neither.
I wouldn't have done it in the first place, so I wouldn't have needed to be relieved.
No, even if I had an anchor, I would still be really scared.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you all so much for letting us put the good in your morning. We're back with more news and weather today at noon.
Have a great morning and an even better day.